For a team that's been as completely directionless and largely poorly ran for a while now, like the Steelers, moves like these shouldn't be unexpected, especially too. Pickens was known to be, you know, a possible trade candidate, but this is just so bad. A third and a fifth in the upcoming draft that isn't the most upcoming draft even for Pickens and a future sixth is just horrible value. I would have traded Pickens, I think, just fine for a second, but this is nowhere near that. And moving up in the dart throwing rounds just doesn't make it enough. The future picks are often traded for a round less than the current picks are. So the Steelers basically got a fourth in this past draft for Pickens and traded a second for DK, which we'll get into in greater depth in just a second. If you couldn't tell, this is just the Steelers' perspective. The Cowboys video is already up. Pickens is on a super cheap rookie contract this year. Sure, he needs paid next season and upcoming seasons, but the worst case scenario is you get a comp pick for him. And yes, the comp pick is, a bit delayed, but at the end of the day, what is the rush with the Steelers? You're nowhere near competing. And this is just so bad because, yes, the overlap between Pickens and DK is great, but one, no one made you trade for DK, and two, you overpaid for DK in trade compensation and in just monetary value. It's directionless too because they signed Darius Slay for a win now signing, even though again the team's nowhere near competing. And then they trade Pickens for, a little bit of future assets, but mainly just to clear up money. They have no quarterback in place. Why do they need money like that? Obviously, it's better to have it than not, but when you're not paying a quarterback and, you should be trading away vets like Watt, even because, again, you're not close to competing and you won't be for a while. And you need a quarterback. There's just a lot wrong with this team. So, getting rid of a young star like Pickens, who is the best player on offense for you, it's not DK. I mean, he was the best, rather, Pickens. This is just so dumb. And yes, DK and Pickens were a little bit odd together. You needed a quarterback, funnily enough, like Russell Wilson to make it work, where they love to throw to deep threats on the sidelines in particular. Neither great route runners, mainly just a deep threat, can run some slants as well. But Pickens is just a better version of DK. To put it bluntly, that's the case. He's also much younger and is much cheaper this year. And DK, you overpaid a whole bunch for, so I don't think Pickens would be much different in price. And wide receivers with greater than 85 targets, Pickens ranked 17th in yards per route run, DK ranked 27th, and Pickens did this with far, far worse quarterback play. And also, they had basically the identical contested catch percentage, despite Pickens being the only receiving option. I'm not just talking receiver, I'm talking tight ends too. Freiermuth is average. They defenses were able to sell out completely to Pickens. Defenses weren't selling out to stop DK nearly the same because Tyler Lockett was still solid and Jackson Smith and Jigba was right there with DK for efficiency. So teams were putting more defense on Pickens, and Pickens was still getting open just as well as DK. That's a really bad sign. Like I said, DK's older, more expensive, and worse. Pickens had a 79 PFF grade. DK had a 74. Basically anything you could look at. Pickens is superior to DKN, and their playstyles are basically the exact same. The only knock on Pickens is he does have attitude issues, but find me a good or better receiver that would be playing with the trash quarterbacks Pickens has had and limited receiving help and just offensive concern at all, that wouldn't be a bit upset with how things are. So I don't think that's reason enough to do this. And when you look at the value that is going away for DK and you're getting for Pickens, it's just not even in consideration for a reasonable move. This is horrible for the Steelers. It's not surprising, but it's horrible. And really, with DK and Pickens, you would have had a solid, not even elite, but solid wide receiving room. Now it's DK, who's a fringe number one, and you have Robert Woods as your number two in 2025. That's just not going to cut it. I know the Steelers don't care about offense. They should, though. Not caring about offense has held them back for quite some time now. Rudolph, he means no contending, basically by himself. But now he's going to have even worse receiving play. And it just doesn't make sense. The team is completely directionless. They're not tanking, but they're not winning now either. They're just going to be lukewarm or worse now and into the future. This is just more continued bad management by the Steelers. Those are my thoughts on the Steelers trading George Pickens. Be sure to let me know what yours are in the comment section. Also, be sure to watch the Cowboys perspective. It's a lot more positive than the Steelers one, just to give you a little bit of a tease. Be sure to let me know what your thoughts are on the moves in the comment section. Also, be sure to like and subscribe for more football and basketball content.